Hey everybody, how are you doing? Welcome to Food Alchemy Network. I am Dr. D, and I brought you someone special. Of course. It is Saturday. It is the Women's Circle, the door of many colors. Why? And all the things. I want to wish you guys a happy Saturday, wherever you are, or a happy Sunday, because it's not always Saturday where I am, or always Sunday where you are. So I want to wish you a happy day no matter where you are. So I want to introduce you to my guests, which you've seen in the box, either below or above, or somewhere in that extreme. I don't know what it looks like on Twitch or Twitter. So Brandy Culver is a spiritualist, medium, pet communicator, also a Reiki master. She has so many gifts. She's been in the field for some time, but has been talented and awoken since 9 years old, and did not recognize the gift that she has until later on in life. I know some of you have experienced some of that, so you might want to share. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Brandy. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm great. So introduce people to yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Brandy. I am a medium. Also, like Dr. D said, I'm an animal communicator and a Reiki master and teacher. And I absolutely love what I do. And I'm so happy to be here today.
Oh, thank you. So let's talk about your experience. You said you were 9 years old and the spirit woke you up from an earthquake was
Yes.
having.
Yeah, I was living. Oh, go ahead. Okay. I was living in Japan. My dad was in the military. And so I was awakened, and I was laying in bed, and I saw this older gentleman standing at the end of my bed. And I started having a conversation with him. And I didn't realize that there was an earthquake going on around me. I was just zoned in on him and the conversation. And I felt like I knew this gentleman. And I was very comfortable with speaking with him. It was almost like I've known him from a past life, or he was a grandfather, I don't know. So the conversation went on for a few minutes, and then my mom comes running in the room. You need to get with me. We have an earthquake going on. And I was like, what earthquake? It's like, and as soon as she bounced me back into reality, I felt everything moving, and I was like, I'm 9 years old, so I'm freaking out. But I didn't want to. I said, there's a man I'm talking to over here, and I don't want to leave him. What about him? Is he going to be okay? My mom was like, there's no man over there. Get your butt over here now with me. So we went to safety. And that was really my first time having an experience with spirit and talking to somebody on the other side.
So when that happened, did you shut the gift down? Did you forget about the person? Or what was your next course of action?
Yeah, I mean, my parents kind of shut that down. They said, that wasn't, I don't know what you're talking about. And I felt things here and there throughout for a few years, all the way up until I was about 12, 13, I had another experience. And this is where we were living in Germany. And this experience was I spoke to a wild hog. We were actually, yeah, I know. I was part of the Mormon community at this point in time. And so we were out on a young women's camp, and it was during the summer. And we went out on a hike, and we were out in these hills, and I heard something rustling up in the hill. It was a good ways up. And I was like, oh, well, there's something up there. And we just kept on walking. And all of a sudden I heard him in my, I'm very clairaudient. That's what I've learned from a very early age. That's one of my gifts. I heard, you need to turn around. I like kind of stopped for a minute going, you're like, what was that? Because I'd never encountered that before. I was like, am I hearing that right? And so they said, you need to turn around because we are coming that way and there's lots of us. And I said, well, what are you? And they're like, we are a pack of wild pigs. And I was like, oh. And they said, we've got babies. This one said, we've got babies. And I was like,
wow.
Oh, I guess I better turn around. But how do you tell people that you're walking with that are very religious that we need to turn around? So I said, I'm hearing something up there. I said, can you guys stop for a minute? Can you hear all that rustling up there? They're like, yeah. I said, I think we need to stop and pray for a moment and see if we need to turn around. And they looked at me and they were like, at first you could see the crazy. They're going, she's kind of crazy. And I was like, we really need to turn around. And they're like, well, let's pray about it. I'm like, okay. My leaders were like, okay, we're going to pray about it. We'll pray about it. It just took them, just a few seconds. And they were like, yeah, I think we need to turn around. And I was like, oh, phew. So we turned around and I heard, thank you. And I was like, you're welcome. I said, thank you for giving us the warning. And that was pretty much my last time I really spoke to spirit again, or any kind of for a while. It got turned off after that because there was a lot that happened in my life. And so springing forward to my 40s. My 40s is when I reawoke again the gifts. And I was in a really troubled relationship. Let's just put it that way. And I had been visited by my grandfather. Well, no, let's go back because he visited me before. So my grandfather had visited me when I was about 16. And this is a grandfather that passed away 3 months before I was born. So I never met him. I probably knew of him, but I never met him in person. So I got pregnant at 16. And so unfortunately things went awry and I had a miscarriage. And not too long after the miscarriage, he had come to me and he had spoke that I was going to have a little girl and that the little girl was up there with him. And I've never gotten pregnant since then. But he came to me then when I was 16. So I would say after 16 was when it was really kind of shut off. Fast forward to age, let's see, that was 14. I was around 39, 40 years old. And I had just had knee surgery. I had a torn meniscus. And so I was recovering from that, and things were just not going well in the relationship. It was really bad. They were spiraling down a path that I was like, I don't know where this is going to go, and I don't know how to get out of it. Well, he came to me again, and he said, you need to go as soon as possible, because if you don't, you're going to be 6 feet under and up here with me. I was like, okay. So I thought about it. I spoke to family, and I got out of there and moved forward. My uncle, who is my mother's brother, had me move out there with him and my mother, who was living out there with him at that point in time, to Washington State. And he was really into the spiritual world and all that. He became my mentor and helped me to realize my gifts and start to come into them. And to this day, he's still my mentor. He's still very much with me. But yeah, that's where I really realized in Washington, I was an animal communicator, and that's where I became a Reiki master. And with Reiki, it helps you realize your gifts and propels them forward for you. It helps you jump into them much faster. And I really started finding out that I was also a medium. Okay. But then all of a sudden he passed away suddenly. And so I had to move. I had no family there because my mom had already moved. So I moved out here to Texas. And for the last 4 years, I've lived everywhere. And so for the last 4 years, this is where I've been. I have been really stepping into my gifts, my mediumship, teaching Reiki. I let go of fear. I've allowed spirit to direct me. I let go of a corporate job and just said, okay, here I am. I'm all yours. Take me where I need to go. And spirit has taken care of me. I may have not been able to really, I pay my bills, but barely, but spirit has really taken care of me and has done a really good job leading me where I'm supposed to be going. And that's where I'm at.
That's a beautiful thing. The thing is that you mentioned that I find to be a common thread. A lot of I have a Mormon background, and you're probably not aware of that. But I have a Mormon background, so does my son and my daughter that transition. What people don't realize from there, in the church, they talk about celestial beings as children. That is instilled to them to believe in the other side of things over the veil, and then going to the temple and embracing themselves like they are in the angelic realm in the temple has a lot of for women and children to be open and receive a lot of their gifts. And sometimes they're shut down. I think it does. I forgot patriarchal. I had a patriarchal blessing. I think that's what it's called.
Yes,
Patriarchal
I
blessing.
received one of those. Yes, I received one of those. I was going through, I think this is a common theme with a lot of us that have come through and realized our gifts. A lot of us have a lot of trauma behind us in stepping into our gifts. And I was raped also at an early age. And I was like 19, 20. And I went back and got rebaptized through the church and everything. And I got a patriarchal blessing. And pretty much, for those that don't know, patriarchal blessings are essentially a psychic reading. That's essentially what a patriarchal blessing is.
Yes.
And at the time, I didn't know that. But in this patriarchal blessing, after all I've been through, it was said that you are here to usher in the coming of, because they truly believe the second coming of Jesus. And you are meant to help people on the other side. You're meant to be the in between. And I didn't know anything about that then. I was 19, 20. When you're brought up in the church, you're like, okay, but now that I look back at it, you're just not, that's not something you're like, all right, that's way beyond my
comprehension,
thinking cap. Yeah. And because we're not taught it in the church. And so now I look at it and I'm like, oh, well, that all makes sense. I'm like, that's the reason why I'm a medium. Mm-hmm. And an animal communicator. And now I'm looking at doing hypnotherapy, becoming certified in that. So that's going to help also. Yeah.
Now, when you do that, that's going to be
past life regression. Go ahead.
That's going to be a truly tremendous, really, really, really beautiful open up. You're going to open up in so many ways. And even like I tell people, you will do teleportation. And what I mean by that is going from different dimensions and not having the fear that they like, oh, you got to be fearful of that will be gone, because you'll know the semantics of what it is and what it feels like. It's so amazing. Just trust me. You do hypnotherapy without even thinking about it right now. You hypnotize yourself, I do. And that's what my teacher taught me. And I was like, I want to. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't know what I was going to say. Oh, I already connect. As you know, I sing light language. And recently I did some animal communication, my first live ever event. And I did some mediumship / animal communication readings. And I had this group of people come to me, and they are interacting. They're the human council part of the Andromedan Council. And they wanted me to see if I could get any information. Okay. And I channeled in the Andromeda Council, and it was phenomenal. I was not in this world. I'm telling you, I was not in this world. It was one of those, they said your eyes were flittering, underneath my eyelids. And I felt it. I felt like after I was done, I was like, you're in control, but you're not in control. So
Right.
you can hear everything that's going on, but the words, the communication that's coming out of your mouth is not you. And so it's a beautiful thing. It really is, because you're still in control, but you're not, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
As you know,
Yes.
with light language, it's the same. You've got it coming through you, but you're in control of your body, but you're not in control of what's coming out.
See, and the thing is how I knew something was different. I've always been a singer, always sang, and I always had to have music. That was one of the things. Like, I grew up around other people, like a babalao in Yoruba tradition. Santeria is someone as a high priest, and he said one of my things is you must always be surrounded by music. Music helps you focus. Music is part of who you are. And I didn't get in until Spirit says music is a frequency, music is an energy, music is like water. You connect so well with the water, and that's who you are. It's a vibration. And I was like, oh, okay. So in life, I was going to be a singer. And I just happened to be singing in this, I just happened to be singing. And it was like, I was like, oh, this is rubbish. I don't even know what I'm saying. That doesn't make sense. And I happened to be on Clubhouse singing, and the guy was like, Ceci, Dr. D, that's what they call it. Dr. D, do you understand? But I was like, no. I was like, let me shut up, because I'm doing something. I don't know what I'm doing. And he was like, no. And then he translated, and then his wife, Michelle, translated. I was like, huh? So she was like, do you realize? I said, I do this all the time. And then she said, and automatically you shut yourself down. I said, because I don't understand what I'm saying. She said, well, go with the feeling. And then I have a friend named Miriam. She does light language and drawing and sounds. So I was like, let me send this to you. And I started something, said, start recording what you're saying. Start doing this. For me, chanting, I've been told, I've been a lot of different things and a lot of different things. I started chanting Nam Yo Hore Kekyo. So when I started chanting that, the tone changed, the vibration changed. And the guys said when they would come to my house for meetings, as we get together and we chant together. So when they came to my house for a meeting, the guy said, only when I come to your house, I sweat. And he said, and I literally sweat and shake as you're chanting. I said, well, when I chant, my Shakabuku, also my adopted mom at the time, said, chant with emotion how you're feeling at the time. So if you're upset, I'd be like, Nam yo ho renkekyo, or Nam yo renkekyo, or whatever I'm feeling at that time, I would express it. So it would change the tone, and not realizing that I was actually giving energy to what the scrolls are dead scrolls. And what she said, you're making them alive by you chanting. Just like when you say Om or Ah or Ha, there's different ones for different chakras. So I was like, okay, that helped a lot. Understand, that gave me the courage to make the video that I made that's on this. I sent you that. Did you get to hear it or see it?
I did.
And that gave
It
me
was
the
beautiful.
courage to actually chant. And I was like, now I don't know what this is going to sound like. But then Spirit said, look, this is for people that are having pain. This is to release stuff. This is for this. So when you're chanting this, let them know what it is. So I put it on YouTube, put it in the background, and couldn't help. But then I went and started singing. And then with it, and I was like, okay, is that normal? You know, in my head, do people do what I just did? Is this like, I haven't heard anybody sing like language. I've heard them talk like language, but I hadn't heard anybody sing it. So I'm thinking it's abnormal until I got some response from the video of they were sick and they were getting better. Somebody had the shakes. That was getting better. I did a video for abundance, just saying ching chong ching, just different sounds for money and abundance. And then all of a sudden, 3 people called me and wrote back to me that those sounds that I made on that video, along with the videos that I'm saying, and I said, a money and abundance unto you, this was just a TikTok thing. I'm just having fun with TikTok. So they got money. He said within 20 hours, I had the money I needed. Within 12 hours, this person said they had the money they needed. The other person said that unexpected money came from someplace. And then another person said that. And then I was so funny. I have my shoes at the door. I keep money. I didn't realize I put money in my sandals. And the sandals I have, I was like, I was short for cash. Guess what? I found money in my sandals. So I like that. Light language. So tell me about you singing light language, because this is a first for me.
Well, I was in one of the light language rooms, and I was just listening, and I got activated, and they were like, you need to sing. I was like, how do you know what I'm supposed to sing? What? I don't even know these languages. I was like, what am I supposed to do? And they're like, it'll come to you. So I got really hot. As you know, you get really hot when you get activated. And so I was like, all right. So I unmiked and I just, and I activated other people. I activated myself, but I activated other people in the room. And everybody was just, wow. You know, it was one of those where everybody's jaw was to the ground going, what? So, yeah. So ever since then, every time I open my mouth, I activate people. It's just, and the more that I've been doing it, because I'm in a light language room once a month. And the more that I do it, the more that I am becoming used to it, and it's a remembrance. It's the epigenetics thing of where I've come from. And so yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I love doing light language.
I like that you explain how you got activated by going into the room and you just trust your spiritual side and just said, I'm gonna go with it. Because sometimes we fight it. Like you heard me, like you just went with it, like, okay, and it made it effortlessly. And that's beautiful. How did you get to be so confident to just trust in that feeling, just like, okay, well, I'm just going to do the darn thing, especially with your spiritual, because it's kind of scary. You're out there on a limb, you know, people want to know, like, how did you just like let down your armor and said, okay, I'm walking full Monty.
Well, going back to when I moved out here and I let go of that corporate job, it was really just letting myself trust in myself, trust in what's on the other side, that I will be okay, that I will be held in love and light, and just trusting that. And I'd never done that before. And they were in my head going, you really just need to let it go. And like overnight, the next day, when I must have done it in my sleep, astral traveled and said, all right, here I am. You can have me. The next day, it was like a whole different ball game. It was like I woke up in a different world. It was almost like the veil fell down and I went from 3D into 5D for the most part. I mean, I still bounce back and forth because we have to. We're humans. And because of what our family and people and things. But I just allowed it to happen and I trusted in them. And it's been beautiful ever since. When I really have a fear, I hand it over to them and go, okay, would you please help me out here because I need to let this go. This is not serving me anymore. And so that's what's been happening. I've seen this happen ever since I got on Clubhouse. And because I quit my job in November 2020. And then I discovered Clubhouse in February 2021. And my club, I went full force in Clubhouse and created my club. I have 3,000 members. And I created that organically. There is no influencer amount in that amount. It's all organic. And it's just been beautiful to see the change and allowing spirit to just lead me.
That's beautiful.
And as you know, our family members, our blood family, they don't believe. And so it's been challenging going through that and learning those lessons with them.
Congratulations.
Really pushing forward.
Because that takes a lot of courage to be out there on a limb, as I say. But it's a beautiful thing to be out there on a limb. Because what you see now, it might take them years, like, for them to understand exactly where you are. Because it just looks like, as my friend said, skullduggery. Like a whole bunch of skullduggery. And then when they look at it, it's like, no, it's really not a whole bunch of skullduggery. It's actually really true. If I look at it, if I stop drinking, as I said, stop drinking the coffee. And it opens up. So I want to thank you for allowing that to happen and trust. Because some of us do not trust, in ourselves, in our gifts, in our abilities. So I want to say thank you and for honoring it. Because that's you don't realize that's brave. Believe it or not, that's brave. Because a lot of people won't because they don't want because they will not fit into society and what society says you're supposed to be. And little do they know, it's you know part of it's a dream, it's hallucination. That's how I look at everything. I've been telling people for years, you're living on a holodeck. Do you realize what the holodeck is? What the holodeck job is?
Yeah.
And they don't.
Yeah. We could go down that rabbit hole, and that's a deep rabbit hole. My uncle was considered a conspiracy theorist, and
Really?
everything that he spoke of has come true.
All right.
And now I'm like, really? He's a conspiracy theorist, people? Okay.
Nope. Sure, sure.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is,
So,
like I said,
everything is, a lot of people think that everything is crashing. And we're going, excuse
nope.
my language here, but the world's going to shit. The world's going to shit. It's just that the veils, everything's breaking down so that we can see the truth now.
Right. And
And get
trust.
back to where we need to go.
There you go. But
Mm-hmm.
I got some people that's poking the bear.
Mm-hmm.
Or they want to poke the bear or whatever what happens. So I'm
Yeah.
telling it's a concept, it's a choice. It's a choice. But that's beautiful. So what made you really love communicating with animals? Like why and why? What was the love about it?
Well, I've always had an affinity with animals. There was a saying when I was growing up. They said, never get an animal that you don't, if you don't want it. Let me rephrase this. If they wanted their own animal, it wasn't theirs, because it would be attracted to me and fall in love with me.
Mm.
So growing up, most of the animals, they were mine. I was like the
Dr.
animal
Doolittle.
whisperer somewhat. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I really couldn't
That's cute.
communicate with. I didn't know how to communicate with them, but they all were attracted to me, and to this day, most of them are. Most of them are. A lot of animals. There's some that they're like, they don't they they're scared of me because they don't know what I am. But
Okay.
for the most part, a lot of them will. There's a lot of times that I'm on Clubhouse and I've given readings for a lot of people, and their animals will come out of nowhere and sit on their laps because they hear my voice.
Mm.
And I just think that's amazing that they hear me and they come running. Like, I'm not here to do a reading for you. I'm not here to do a reading for you. This is not the time for you to speak.
Okay. All right. Eddie wants to know, is the blood family from the same world?
Is blood family from the same world? It can be. Um, like my uncle, we're soul family.
Okay.
So we're blood, but we're soul family. So we made that contract before we came down here. Now, there is blood family that is not soul family. They're just brought into your life for the lessons that you need to learn. And sometimes you will meet them again in another life, but most of the time you won't, because they're just there for that one reason, and they go on with their own soul family. So that's what I have for that. That's my answer.
Okay, you said you want to ask something about your mom's dog. Is your mom's dog alive, or is your mom's dog dead? Waiting for that. I'm just like so interesting. While I'm talking to you, I'm creating. I'm on this new thing. I used to create staffs, and now Spirit has me making all kinds of stuff, and I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna honor this because you have me doing this, and this seems kind of weird.
I know my uncle was he was also a naturopath, so he wanted to create a healing business with me.
Wow.
Yeah, he left behind a lot of stuff for me to create that. It's just I haven't gotten in that space yet, because I think there's still more for me to. Yeah, there's more for me to add to it, like this hypnotherapy and this past life regression. I'm feeling like that this is going to be it for right now, and this is going to expand everything for me. That's what I'm feeling. But Eddie, go ahead.
He didn't say anything.
I don't see anything from him. Maybe he's typing.
That is well, transition. Because like I already told you, well, we already had our talk. You know what I said. We lost him when my mom
passed. He had a broken heart.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out what the question is. Do you understand this question?
Yeah. That I understand what's coming through. I have stuff coming through. They were, if I look off to the side, I'm getting information. So your mother and that dog had been together in several lifetimes. So that's a soul dog.
Wow.
But very much passed away from a broken heart. Yeah. Made the contract to leave when she did.
Mm-hmm. I know why my son came on. You know why he came on?
Why?
He's trying to figure out when Shaka's gonna come to Mexico and be with me. Shaka will not take a bath, and he's so big now. When he was a puppy, we could get him in the bathtub, but now that he's a biggie, oh, he was put in a shelter.
But he still passed from a broken heart. Yeah. He mourned her. He mourned her.
Yep. He was he won't take a shower, and I was like, I think something in his past this is me. I said, something is past because he will not get in. He's fearful of this water. And he was a rescue puppy at 9 weeks. Now he's older. My son said, I can't get him in the bathtub. And I was like, he's breaking out because he's not getting a bath. He has to get a bath. So, but
he, the first words I heard was he drowned as a puppy. He got into some water and he almost drowned. He was rescued. But that's the trauma right there. He's afraid of water because of that.
Yeah, because every time we turn on the tub, that thing.
What you could do, does he like the garden hose? No.
When he hears water, he runs.
Well, what you could do is give him sponge baths. Try sponge bath with him.
Mm-hmm.
Have a bucket of sudsy water and then have a bucket of clean water and just use the sponge, a soapy sponge, and then use a clean sponge to get it off of him. And he won't be so scared of it.
Yeah.
This is what I'm hearing.
So, because I told my son, we got to get a groomer because his little eyes are red. My son's like, I was like, look, I can tell when things are off. And that's the thing, that since I've actually been in Mexico, my senses have become even more keen. I'm not distracted by people, places, and things. So I'm more concentrated. So I am in a beautiful place. So I'm just like getting so excited for the things that are coming, but it's so exciting that it freaks people out. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't see that, did you?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. It freaks people out when they're doing an interview, like when we're talking on video.
Oh, it doesn't freak me out. We're good. I mean, I have portals in this room.
Okay.
So, no.
See, and that's the sticks I used to make. My friend Ron used to say the sticks I used to make are portal sticks, or he called them portal keys. And not everybody was to have a portal key. The sticks were made for certain people. I was like, how am I supposed to discern who has? He said, Spirit will tell you. So I was like, okay. And then I left and I came to Mexico. And I left my portal. I left my staffs that I made and created there, except one. And it's so tiny. It looks like a little doll. So on my little staff. So I get a kick out of creating, little things that are used.
Well, my portals are in the walls. They just come through. There's one in the back there. You see that lamp back there? Mm-hmm. It comes in and out back there in that corner. There's one in that corner that'll come in and out. Yeah. Libby, I don't know if you know Libby from Clubhouse.
Yeah, from Clubhouse.
Yeah. She and I were having a conversation. She goes, you have a portal behind you. I said, yeah, I know I have a portal behind me. She goes, but Archangel Michael. She goes, Archangel Michael just came through there and is standing right behind you. And I'm like, oh, well, that's awesome. I was like, wow, okay. Yeah, it's those kind of things. And ever since that portal's opened, we'll have conversations, via camera. And she'll look at me and she'll go, you know, you have a Native American that comes through you. Like, you've been Native American in a past life, and that person comes through you, and I can see that in your face. Your face will change into a Native American woman. And I'm like, one day I was looking at myself and I said, oh yeah, I do see her. It's like, okay. You know, and it's anybody else that would have freaked them out. The portals, all that, they would have been freaked out. Me, I'm just like, well, this is quite interesting. You know, and I allow it to be what it is. I don't push them away. I honor them and allow them to be in the space. Because, you know, this room is very sacred because I hang Reiki in here. So nothing can get in that's not supposed to be in here. And I've used salt in here and all that. So I clear this room quite a bit. This is
something.
Now I gotta tell you,
I saged before the show. I saged because, well, first of all, because I told you it's fumigated in here, but I saged the house inside and out and upstairs, and then I smudged myself, and I was like, okay, just for the heck of it. But yeah. So you are okay. What Spirit was saying, which you're a natural portal key. My significant other used to call me the human hurricane. He's like, no, the human tornado. He said, because once tornado says he touched down, everything's havoc, but then things are clear and calm. I was like, I don't think I like that. I was like, that's not a way to describe me, honey. You don't really love me, do you? He's like, I do. He was like, but love. Now, I was only 30 then. He was 59 at the time. So he had a lot more experience and was able to see stuff a lot clearer than a lot of people that I've been with, and it was a lot helpful for me to progress because he was able to understand me when I was saying, like, well, this is what happens. And he was like, I watch you. Tornado says he come in, touch down, everything's havoc, and then all of a sudden it's smooth and it's clear. And it's like, what happened? He said, tornado says he. And then I was like, oh, I don't like that. And the Spirit said, it's not that you're a tornado, it's that you open vortexes. You open portals, but then you open up the portal into, those portals can become into vortexes. And there's a difference. And that's what I was trying to understand. So they're like, I'm a key holder, not a key holder. What do they put? Like, I'm a natural portal key as well, vortex key. I'm a key. And there's not many beings in this sphere that are keys. And evidently, you are a key because you have key to so many different things. Meaning you have a key to the animal communication, the crystals, the angelic realm, the ancestor gem, the natural, you know, like there's so many keys that you have. So now I can like I was trying to figure out the connection besides. So that's why you understand I did a little bit of everything. But yes. So do you work with horses in therapy?
I do not, but I've been told I need to. I love communicating with horses. They are so awesome. Before I left Washington, that's when I was really starting to open up that gift. And we went to this stable that had this horse that was just riddled with all kinds of problems. And so we were giving, once I stepped into the stable and opened up the Reiki, all of a sudden, every single horse in that stable was like, and I'm like, oh my God. I was like, listen, I can only handle one horse at a time. I can't handle all of you at once. And they were like, well, you better come over here and see me after you see them. It's like, okay. So I had to go by the pecking order. And so it was beautiful. It was beautiful. I had a lot of horses that really wanted me in the stall with them. They didn't want me to be on the outside of the stall. They wanted me to be in the stall with them.
Right.
And I couldn't go in the stall because, I was like, I can't go in your stall. I'm safety reasons. I'm not signed up to do this. You know, we were signed up just to do Reiki on one horse. I was like, I'm sorry, guys. I can do it from this distance, but I cannot get any closer. And that's when I really started to practice Reiki on animals and communicating with them. And I started volunteering at this animal sanctuary in Washington. And I would go there with there was a cow, there was a couple of horses, there was pigs, there was rabbits, there was llamas, or were they alpacas? No, they were alpacas. There were alpacas, and then there was goats. And the one that I loved the most communicating with was the goats. No, you're fine. Was the goats. The goats were the best. I loved communicating with those goats.
Why was the goats the best? What's so special about the goats?
Because they're comedians. They're so funny. They I don't remember what it was, but I had one come up behind me and just lay its head right here and was like, okay, I'm ready. Are you ready? And I was like, okay. I was like, and then he got up and he put his hooves right here. It hurt, but he put his hooves right here, and he's like, okay, I want more. I'm like, okay, I'll give you more. They are hilarious. They are hilarious. I mean, just, yeah. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
What's her name? Donna Dune. I'm sorry if I'm messing your name up. Dune wants to know if animals let you know when they're going to leave this plane. Do they prepare?
Do they come to me?
No, animals. Or do they prepare their owners that they're about to transition?
Some of them do. Some of them do. Some of them don't. It all depends on the emotions of the human. Like I had a Keeson puppy that I received that was 3 months old. This elderly couple couldn't take care of it anymore. And so I received it with all the papers and everything, and I was so excited because it was AKC. Well, contacted Parvo, And we did everything possible to keep this dog alive. And this dog seemed like she was on her last legs. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, this dog gets up like nothing ever happened, comes over to me and wants all kinds of loving and attention, and doesn't look like there was anything wrong. I was like, oh, you're feeling better. I was like so excited. Goes back and lays down and dies. And I was like, you came to say goodbye, because at that point in time, I really wasn't aware of my gifts. And so I was like, oh, that was very special. That was very special that she came over to say goodbye. Yeah. I'm just getting goosebumps thinking about that, back to that time. I haven't thought about her in a long time.
Okay, so as you've gotten older, have your gift been advanced, more clearer, showing up more and more?
Yes. I have a unique spiritual team where they know how emotionally how emotional I get. And so they help me shut the gifts off when need be. I'm not one of these that walk around and hear things all the time. I don't have spirits come to me all the time. I don't have animals come to me all the time. I've allowed it to be to where you have to come to me and ask permission for these spirits to come through. Yeah, that's where my spirit team is now, because of who I am, and they know how emotional I am. And I've had to really protect myself. At one point in time when I first started on this journey, and right after I got out of that really intense relationship, I almost had a spirit take over my body.
Ooh.
And yeah. So I protect myself all the time now. And I've asked my spirit team to really protect me. Sometimes it is to my advantage, and sometimes it's to my disadvantage, because sometimes I may miss something. But hey, at least I'm not walking around with my emotions on my sleeve and boo-hooing and taking everything in. So right. I see it as a blessing.
Yes, I see it as a blessing for sure, because that helps. So I am so happy.
I work with Archangel Michael quite a bit. I've had a lot of people, when they step into a reading, with me, give me a reading, and they're like, do you know that you work with Archangel Michael? And I just smile and giggle. I'm like, yeah, I know. They're like, he's standing right there. I was like, yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, I know. It's one of those where you're like, okay, thank you for acknowledging that for the 100th time. But yeah, I do. Thank you.
That's cool though. Yeah. That they can see it. Other question is, how would you suggest someone begin to, how would they go about practicing uh, pet animal communication? What would you, what was, what would you suggest they do?
Well, first you've got to get in tune with yourself, your own intuition. The little things that you are hearing that you're thinking, that's not true. The first thing that pops into your mind and you're like, oh, that's not true. Most of the time, it is true. And what I've learned is when you are giving a reading, it may not make sense to you, but it makes sense to the other person on the other side that is receiving the reading. So start listening to yourself and that intuition, and just going within, meditating, getting to know yourself. And once you can trust yourself, then you can start listening to the outer senses, the outer world, and listen to the animals. You can listen to the birds. You can listen to the trees. You can listen to the plants, the water. The water will speak to you too. Everything speaks to you.
Yep.
Rocks speak to you. Everything. Everything. You just got to trust yourself. Trust yourself. That's the beginning.
And that's sometimes the hardest part, because in societies we have been told we only believe what you can see, only believe what you can read. And the thing is, it's so distorted our view, our vision, because we have shut down the other part of our brain, not to be able to see outside of what we've been programmed to believe. When you get out of, when you start to deprogram yourself and allow yourself to actually feel, sometimes you don't know what the feeling is, and it takes an effort. Like, what is that? You know, like I was like, okay, something's, I'll give you an example. I was like, oh, these bugs are, you know, I'm thinking they're getting on me. No, it's my hair, you know. And then I was like, oh, you're so sensitive. And I said, oh, it's just hair. No, it's not hair. It's it's the spirit trying to get my attention. So I was like, okay, we're going to do one of those now. I was like, oh, we're at that level. So little things that you might mistake, like I didn't realize what orbs were. My friend said, you always got these orbs in these pictures with you. Or are they, you know, this and this and this. I'm like, oh yeah, well, I think my camera's off focus. And it wasn't really known until I was in Arizona and we were at a women's festival, women's expo. And all these orbs, like it was sunny, and all these orbs are around and the rays, and then, and I was like, and I happened to look at the picture and I was like, those are not spirit. And my friend's like, huh? I was like, nothing. So then I went and I talked to my girlfriend Helena. She would deal with angels. She was like, yeah, you're always surrounded by people. You know that. I was like, yeah, but I didn't expect them to like, hi, like what is that? When people pop in your photo, photo blasting or photo something, photo bombing.
Yeah.
So I didn't think spirits did. So that is something I was wondering, you know, like for them to trust in that, because they'll say, oh, that's just a blur, or, you know, or that's, you know, they'll make you think it's all up here, that you're actually really losing it and it's not spirit, because you've had spirit. I need you to show yourself. I need you to, you know, I need you to help me see what I need to see, and they do, but we doubt it because society tells you that's not true, or the program, or your belief system. Don't believe that. That's a lie. This is the truth, and they're giving you garbage. Well, what they're doing is they're giving you stuff to believe lies, so you won't believe the truth when you feel it in your gut, like when you get that gut feeling. The reason they say it's a gut feeling. If you get a gut feeling, then you trust that. And some people go against their gut feeling because they're not understanding completely what it is. So that is kind of hard when you don't even know, you're not familiar with yourself. That is hard. Would you suggest they meditate? Would you suggest they, besides getting, like, what things would you give them you think they would do to actually get to know themselves?
Meditate is the first one. If you don't feel comfortable meditating, do some breathing exercises. Just center yourself and just be quiet just for a few seconds. You don't have to meditate. It's just sitting in that silence just for a few seconds, and pay attention to how you feel. Pay attention to what you hear and see. That could be one. Another big one is just going out in nature. That's a big one. That's a big one. I love going out into nature. When I was in Washington, I would go to this one path, and when I was really trying to get in touch with myself and my gifts were opening, I would ask Spirit, I said, please show me something that I need to know or that will help me. And you got to watch what you ask for sometimes. But I had, but
I like that. That's cute.
But I was shown some 2 male woodpeckers, and you don't see 2 male woodpeckers together. That's not a thing. And they were on the path, and I was over here looking, and all of a sudden I felt something like behind me, like something staring a hole through me. And I was just like, all my hackles were like, I was like, uh-oh. I was like, is there somebody on the path of me? Do I need to start running? What is this? And Spirit goes, no, you're okay. You're safe. And I was like, okay. They said, turn around and look in the trees. So I turned around and looked in the trees, and there was an owl sitting in the tree, just sitting there watching me. And I was like, oh, that was just like, wow. So I afterward, I didn't have signal on my phone. So afterwards, I got in the car and I'm like Googling. I'm like, okay, what does it mean to see 2 woodpeckers? What does it mean to see an owl? So those kinds of signs help you get in touch with yourself, help you know yourself, help you clear stuff. Things will be shown to you to help you start clearing. In order for you to be able to access gifts, you've got to release stuff and make room for the new. And so doing what we call in the spirit world shadow work, and going within and clearing that trauma out and really getting in touch with yourself. That's how you really get in touch with yourself. That's what I would suggest, is doing the work, is sitting down and journaling. Journaling is a great way to get in touch with yourself. You can go back and read something and be like, oh, wow, that was profound what I wrote. I didn't realize that. It's letting go of stuff. It's helping you see from a different perspective and releasing that trauma. And sometimes that opens up that gateway, and you release it and cry and move on, and something new will come in. I also music is a good way of getting to know yourself. And just enjoying music and sitting in silence and listening to music.
For people that don't, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Just allowing
for people
it
that don't know what shadow work is, could you tell them what shadow is? Shadow work is?
Shadows are that darkness within, that trauma, that stuff that we just, it'll come up to bubble and rear its ugly head in certain situations from our past. And we're like, oh, no, not ready for you. You're going back down. And this, it's shadows are just whispers of trauma, of the bad things, the so-called bad things that have happened to us. But in reality, these are things that have been brought to our attention to deal with in this lifetime. We brought this into this world with us, and we are meant to heal these things while we are here, this trauma. Sometimes it's not from this lifetime, and sometimes it is. And this shadow work enables us to be able to move forward into a better version of us. It helps you move forward into your dreams, into your soul's purpose. And it's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Shadow work is essentially, think of looking in a mirror, and it's just mirrors and echoes of things that need attention. And when we don't pay attention to these things and we push them back down, it causes all kinds of chaos in our physical bodies.
This is true. Until you learn to deal with it. That's cool. I like that. Totally. So, because I know some people make you feel when they said, oh, well, you're supposed to, this girl's like, you got to be happy and bubbly all the time. You're not supposed to be sad or in denial. You must be loving at all times, no matter what it is. And I think that's a false narrative. There's a reason why you're feeling that, because without the shadow self, there would not be a light self. But you don't understand the balance of what it makes. This is just my opinion. I don't know what anybody believes, but this is my opinion on the subject. It's that the shadow self, dealing with those emotions, helps balance yourself and gives you even more enlightenment of who you truly are and what you are capable of.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Yep.
What do you think?
Spot on.
You see everybody
spot on.
See everybody talking. Now, if we were to do this in the morning and I have the windows open, the birds talk and they start singing in the morning. So you're funny. As you were saying, I actually look up the birds. if a crow or a crow comes across, I don't know, these guinea hens or guinea fowl or whatever they are, they come across. I look at these different things or seagulls. I look and see what's going on. And then also I notice for me a lot of consistencies of different numbers. And I was saying, they're becoming everything, even, like I know what I have coming for me, my abundance and everything. So I'm trusting in that, which was funny. It was like, okay, well, I see like 1440, I'll see 1414. I'll see 1444. I'll see 4444. I was like, okay. And when it kept happening in 1212, 1414, 1313, 1333, I was like, okay, start there happening at a certain point for a certain reason. And I was like, wait a minute, or 1010. I'm like, okay, really? And then my friend's like, what is that? I said, I'm always seeing 4444, 14444, 1444. I was like, okay, I got it. And then I started looking it up and I was like, okay, all right, I got it. I am so cool. And then I got 1221. And I was like, okay. So that helped so much, like you say, looking up the numbers, but also feeling like I told my friend, I know I got amount of abundance coming in. So it just confirmed, yeah, your abundance is coming in. Your blessing is coming in, which you asked for is right there. I forgot what number. I think it was 1221, which was the Holy One or Holy Spirit or the Holy something. You're being blessed. And I was like, really? So I started looking at them, and then I started looking at when the dogs bark. When I was singing the light language, they were actually mimicking me singing. So the second time when I recorded it, I was singing it. It's for like 11 minutes and 48 minutes. And I was out there singing for a little bit. The birds were singing too. They were on my wall singing.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. So for me, nature speaks like water when it rains. Like I can tell when it's going to rain or it spritz a little bit. And then I was like, well, I need you to just hold off until I get home, and it's going to be like 2 hours, and then you can spritz. Or could you not rain today because I want to put up my clothes? I want to hang my clothes out. Could we just have a sunny day? And that is, I learned being by myself, is being in vibration with nature, that you're able to ask them to do that. And plants growing in a certain direction. Like my plants grow like they're trying to get in my house. So I love those things. Do you have a green thumb?
To a certain extent.
I don't.
It was. I live with my mother, so it was getting to the point where we were not communicating and overwatering the babies, and so I've just allowed her to take over because that's her thing. But I do because I Reiki them. You can send them Reiki and they love it. They love it.
Oh yeah. So that's good. So what else? What is going on with you? Let's talk about Clubhouse for a minute. Tell people about Clubhouse, because not everybody really knows about Clubhouse.
Clubhouse is an audio app. It's how do I describe this? It's like the old school radio. where you're able to have speakers, but you have an audience that listens to you. And they're silent. The audience is silent until they step on stage. Anybody can step on stage and be a speaker. And you speak about all kinds of subjects. There's different clubs. Like my club is called the Quantum Spiritualism Club. So we cover anything and everything. And there's other clubs out there that are absolutely stunning and doing their thing. And it's a great app. It's a great app. It has changed like any other app will. You know, it was brand new and it was beta and it was beautiful. I was on the tail end of the beta and absolutely loved it. And it opened up to the whole world, and things started changing. And a lot of us have gone back out into the world because it came at an important time when we were going through the pandemic. It was created during that time where people could not see each other. So it was very important for connections. And now that the world is open back up, a lot of people aren't so much on Clubhouse anymore. We're all trying to connect again. And so that's where the app is at right now.
Okay. So now they know that. So what are the days that you're on?
Well, when I first started my club, I was on there almost every day. Almost every day of the week, I was on there doing something. And was in other people's rooms, being a moderator. We call them moderators, which you're a guest on the stage, or it's your room. And right now, this coming up week, I have on Monday evening, I have our global healing meditation, where we send out healing to the world, and we do a meditation. Then on Tuesday, I do a Reiki room where people can come in and get 5-minute blasts of Reiki healing. Wednesday is a channeled art healing room that I'm invited into. Channeled art is just you allowing what your creative juices to open up, and whatever comes through comes through. And then Thursday evenings is our esoteric. We those 3 rooms right there. Well, the global healing meditation is only run once a month, and then the Reiki and the channeled art is once a month. The Reiki is every other week. We were holding that twice a week with different people. Things have shifted and people have moved on and things have opened up. And so we just do it every other week now. But then we do the what's called the Esoteric Roundtable, where it's a room where we have a topic every week. And it's an open forum, and I give a little information on the topic, and we just open up the stage, and everybody just talks about the subject. Right now, we have different series going on. We have the chakra series. We're learning about the different chakras. We have an archangel series that we're doing. This Thursday is Archangel Shamael. And then we have where we do the 3rd week of the month, we do a transmission. Libby does a meditation in there. And then the 4th week, we've just changed it up, and we've got an astrologer coming in and is going to be doing some forecasting and giving us just some information on astrology. And then there's months where we have 5 weeks. So, there's always an extra subject. And then I go live on Instagram every Friday at 5:30 with Libby. We call ourselves the Two Hootie Intuitives.
Central, Pacific. Which time zone?
At 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Cool.
Yeah, and we do what we're doing here. We just interview people. In some weeks it's just she and I, and we just have a chit chat. It's whatever comes up. We let spirit lead us. And then on Sundays, every Sunday evening at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, I go live on Instagram with Courtney Tucker, and we do readings. We call it love and life readings. And she does the love part, and I do the life, and she does tarot, and I do just intuitive readings, whatever comes through. And so that's what I have going on. And then I'm about to take the hypnotherapy certification. I'll be doing that most of the summer.
Okay, that's exciting, though. You're going to love it.
I'm excited. I want to do this first part, and then do the master level, of course. And I'm also looking into QHHT to add to it all. So you froze. Are we still live? Yeah, we're still live.
Yeah, we're still live. I don't know what I see squirrel. Now I'm back on. Oh my gosh. You gotta love the energy. So say what you was gonna say, love. You are doing.
No, you go.
No, say what you were saying about an event that's coming up.
Oh, and then I do have an event coming up at the end of the month. I'm doing another live event where I'm going to be offering animal communication to a group of people here in Texas, which I'm excited about.
Oh, good. So people can see you live. So guys, on the screen, you see the video. I'm going to take that information so you can get in contact with her and add it in the subject head. So you won't miss a show, and you can get her information and talk to her and just say, hi, Brandy. Just give that support, because we all love support, whether it's video or Instagram or Clubhouse, just saying hi and just there. That's what I try to do. I try to support people like I want to be supported. And that's what I do. I try to do the best. Just like I was trying to send a payment in, and it oh my gosh, my poor credit card. We're not gonna even go there.
I was like, it's all right.
I was so disappointed.
You're also doing it during
but I told you the machine ate my money. So my friend was like, wow, she's like, only stuff exciting happens to you. I was like, that's exciting? That's exciting?
That's not exciting. That's not exciting. That's frustrating.
Right. And then Spirit says, well, I'm going to look and see how you're handling this. What are you doing? And how you're going to react. Like not being able to pay my rent here and all the other bills. And Spirit just like, boom, 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 boom. Everything was taken care of. And then I was like, well, they was like, you're not going to get your money until the 16th of May. I was like, really? Really? And I was like, okay, we're going to see about that. I was like, Spirit, I really would like this money by the 10th. It is May 6th right now. I really need that money by the 10th. So it was the 10th somewhere else. It was the 10th, but the money, by the time I seen it, it was the 11th, like the next morning when my phone like decided to unfreeze. And it said, oh, it came in yesterday at like 11 something. I was like, really? We're doing this now? My friend said, who are you talking to? I said, I'm talking to Spirit.
Well,
I was
no.
like, we're doing this now. But it came before the 16th. So
I'm waiting right now myself. I'm late on rent. I'm worrying about my insurance, my car insurance. It's about to be canceled. I'm right now just like, oh my God.
Cancel. Don't say it's not going to be canceled. Cancel, clear.
It's not going to be canceled. I know that. But that's what's, what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying. So, yeah.
I have a lump sum of money coming through, and I'm like, can you get here, Spirit? Can you help me out here? Money, Spirit, can you help me out here? This needs to. You are cutting it close, because I'm late on the rent, and I'm paying it to a family member, so of course that makes it 10 times
right.
Big. And that's been a big to do.
It's going to get,
going
like
back to
I
blood
said,
family.
Everything is going to get better. It's going to be so magnificent. It's going to be like, oh my God, it was just a dream. It was just a dream, because abundance is coming, and the things that, we talked about is coming, and it's time. They're letting you know it's time. What no longer hold back.
Uh-oh. You went in the Matrix again. Oh.
Spirit is giving you, as long as you listen to me, take care of you. It might not look like it, but I was taught I was supposed to be very rich. And she said, if you're not very, very rich, what's going to happen? You will never be without money. I was like, yeah, I didn't trust that until like, I just, like I put it on, I'll have my rent, I'll have this, blah, blah, blah.
You keep on going in the Matrix.
Hold. What he always liked to say, tranquilice, Ceci, tranquilice, mean tranquil, Ceci, tranquil, or calamente mean calm. Because he's used to me, I like to pay all my bills on time. I'm one of those people. I like to get things done, so I know what money I have to play with. So I won't say play with, but to spend for extra, and I don't have to worry. So when it all came in, even today, this month, it was like, oh, wow, you're so calm. The house looks nice. And he said, it feels so beautiful in here. I was like, yeah, because I did what you said. I was saying to myself, tranquilice, Ceci, tranquilice. So that's like, so I was the voice. And then Spirit's like, you, and I trusted in them that they said I would not be without, even though in the midst of what I was going through, I was going to be okay. And they've made it okay. Like, trust. When you really trust in what they say and what comes to mind, you will be blessed. They will open doors that you didn't even know could be open, or they will open windows unexpectedly for the blessing to fall out. Like I said, it was funny. I said, I just went to put my shoe on, and I didn't even realize. I was like, ooh, I got money in my shoe. I was looking for money. I could have used this. And then I say, oh, so I really technically did not have money. I had money, I just didn't know. So I can laugh
Yeah.
about it, but also they were like, how you deal with it doing the stress, or what I was told, how you deal with the stress while you're going through it. Are you upset and hyper and like full attention, or you're like, okay, I'm looking at it from this. Now, what do I need to do? Okay, this is done. This is done. Okay, I got to let it go. There's nothing else I'm able to do. I've done my absolute level best. So I'm going to let you guys handle it. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to take a seat and I'm going to act like I'm supposed to. I'm not going to
Mm-hmm.
blast anybody. I'm not going to get upset. At first I did get upset. Like, look, you're pressuring me. I can't do nothing. I can't make the bank spit out my money. I sent pictures. I've been to the bank. I've lost money going to the bank twice, taking a taxi there and back, trying to get them to straighten it out. I lost money. But then I said, you know what? No, there was something I was supposed to do. And I just looked at it like, okay, well, I got to see the city. I got to see another part of Mexico or something like that. Now I know what to do. And, what else is to do? Okay, now I'm prepared. And that's how I did. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, this is what it is. All right, fine. And kept it moving.
Yeah.
And Spirit said, we got you. And I said, oh, thank you. I am so honored. I am so honored that you blessed me like that. So for me, that's what I do in the midst of things. So do you, because it's getting late.
For me, it's, yeah, no, I was just gonna comment on that. For me, it gets a little hairy because I'm dealing with family and I owe it to family.
Right.
And it comes back to them putting their perceptions on me that I should be out looking for a job, that there's lots of things that have come up with that. And I've just had to, you know, but the anxiety comes in because they're pushing it towards me.
Right.
And yeah,
Well,
so it makes it a little bit hairy. Let's just say
yeah.
that.
But like I said, I see a move coming very soon. I don't know, like, I don't like to give dates.
I
Like
want to
I
move.
see like
I want to move.
Summer.
I had this. No, let me tell you something real quick. I
Okay.
had this lump sum coming in, and I wanted to move. I wanted to move, but I've been jumping back and forth because something's been sitting there going, "No, you're not moving. You're not moving." And I'm like, I want to get out of here. They're like, you're going to wait a little bit. And I'm like, oh, okay. You're still going to move, but you're waiting a little bit. I was like, all right, but this money's not going to last very long. You better be giving me something else. Because this lump sum of money could get me there. So it's like,
right. But there's another door that's going to open, is what I'm saying. Another door that you didn't think was a possibility of your work. Someone's going to see your work. Your work is going to be how you get to what you do. Is going to be something that what you're doing now that you'll be able to walk right into in that area. And it's going to be very much appreciated in that area. So, I mean, it's not now. I mean, I'm saying like maybe the end of summer.
That's what I was feeling. That's what I'm feeling.
At the end of the summer.
Because I've got
Not
to do
summer,
what I'm
but
doing.
the end of the summer.
I've got to do this.
Because
yeah.
right now, because a lot
I've got to do the
spiritually,
hypnotherapy.
but not only that, a lot of things is going on in this 3D realm of chaos. So there's a lot of ups and downs, a lot of things that are going to shift meaning financially, spiritually, but also housing wise. And areas are going to make a shift. Do you follow what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of shifts that's happening right now, and it's not going to be calm until like maybe September or November. November is when it's going to be like a lot more lax. Um, why November? I'm just seeing fall, so don't quote me on that, but that's what I'm seeing. It's a lot of chaos that's going on. It's a lot of smoke and mirrors, a lot of distraction that people are paying attention. They're paying attention to Romania for no reason. They're getting more, not that there's not racism, there's always been racism and stuff, but they're trying to take your mind off of the real bigger picture, what's going on behind the scenes. There's a lot of things that are opening up, being seen, like we're talking about sinkholes in China that they're trying to take your mind and make you erase the hell that the hell in China that we were talking about the other day. The fox demon that was in China broke loose. The other one in the and near the Middle East, that sinkhole with all those kind of forces are being opened up that were solid closed. These are different gateways for different reasons. They're taking your mind off the most important thing that it can be detrimental to your health, but not detrimental in a bad way, but in a most magical way. But the things they're releasing because they don't understand what they are doing, and they're trying to play with it like everything else, is backstabbing them in the buttocks. And while they're doing that, they got to give you a distraction. They had you watching Johnny Depp and Amber on there in the what was the other thing? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Will Smith and the Jada
The school
episode and the
shootings.
Chris,
Yeah.
yeah, the school
And
shooting.
now the
People
school
don't
shootings.
know. Yeah, what was it? The Oklahoma. Every
People don't. That's
time
a
people
smoking.
need.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I don't want to hurt people's feelings, but that was a smoke and mirror also.
Right. See, but people don't look at it like that, like 9/11. It's just what? Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, as I'm saying this, I'm just saying these are all smokes and mirrors. And people do not realize America is built on war. The way the America makes money is keeping wars going. If wars do not keep going, they don't make money. I've been in the military. I am a veteran, and no, I do not get treated with the best care. I don't even, we won't even go there. But they have ships they built. They have graveyards for ships. They have graveyards for airplanes they built and they can't do nothing with. They have bombs they built and they, doing this. There's bomb graveyards. They were using the bomb so much they bombed the Marshallese Island near Hawaii, that the government is actually have to pay the Marshallese people money for their children and them to have money so they can live in Hawaii. They don't have to work. They give them money. Smoke and mirrors. You're not understanding the real cause is to keep you separated and not question anything, and to keep us all divide and conquer they stand. So the more we're divided,
Mm-hmm.
the more they can conquer. The less we're divided, the more we're united, the more we stick together, the more we support each other. If you notice, a lot of people have been supporting and saying this person doesn't have to die. Why are these people missing? Why are the children missing? What happened to them? What's going on? We need to look out the alerts. What's happening? They got to give you another distraction because you're getting too close. You're connecting. You're coming together. You're talking about. You're being friendly. You're being love. No, 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 no. That's unacceptable. We want destruction. We
Mm-hmm.
want hate. We feed off of that energy. That is what they do. So, all that being said, that has to be cleaned up. And it's not going to, I'm not saying it's going to be cleaned up by November. They're just going to calm it down, and you're going to see miraculously all these things. Oh, this happened, and oh, we got this, and oh, we got that. And oh, by election, everything is going to be so beautiful. Everything's going to be so beautiful. You know why? You got to cast that vote. But then again, that's a lie too. Oh, everything, like I said, we're living on a holiday. If
I heard we're really not going to be settled down in this country in the world for another 10 years.
Ashe.
A lot has to be shaken up. A lot has to be brought up to the surface, healed. We have to heal it.
Yep.
And then because the world is going through shadow work right now. This is what we're doing. This is what's going on. So
this realm.
But it all starts with us. It all starts with us. When we start undo our own shadow work, so may it be everywhere else.
Yeah, that was a setup. That's why I said we know it's a setup. One of the guys who got shot in Buffalo created the car that ran off of water. It's almost like Tesla.
Yeah.
Again, but he's not the first one. There was another guy that made water something, so we would not have to pay these oil prices. We would not have to pay these gas prices that you would be able. He was able to take water out of the air and make these tanks. He took them to Haiti. He took them to Flint, where they've been drinking dirty water and nasty water for many, many, many years. They've had birth defects for the people there, and no one said a darn thing. And still haven't said anything. But that's a day for another show. That's another subject. I'm just saying.
I know we could go down, like I said earlier in the show, we could go down the rabbit hole for days.
I'm saying days. Yep, you're right. And they don't have a clue, but you know what? This has been an awesome show.
Yeah, it has. It has. I mean, real quick, I just want to state this because it's coming through.
Go ahead.
Look at the school shooting, this recent one in Oklahoma. How does an 18-year-old get all these guns?
Thank you. Yep.
All of a sudden, he has all this ammunition. I mean, hello, people. Hello.
Yeah. But then they said he was talking to an FBI agent, a retired FBI agent.
Please.
Yeah.
Please.
That's going to come out later or maybe not. That's what I'm saying. It's a distraction. People do not understand. They use our sadness and our energy for sympathy and despair and anger for their benefit.
This is just a ruse in order to get us to undefend ourselves.
Yep.
They're dividing and conquering. Mm-hmm.
Yes, like I said,
they want to take our gun.
Divide. Like I said, there's so many divisions among ourselves that we don't see it. And, you know, it's so much hatred they planted in individuals. Basically, it's not hatred. They go in different communities and set it off for it to be.
They do.
They've been doing this since time began.
Oh, yeah. These things, it's not humans. It's the powers that, you and I know who it is. But, you know.
Right.
other people think it's humans.
Right.
Do some research. Go down the rabbit hole. Go down the rabbit hole, and you'll find out.
I was saying.
And once you go down that rabbit hole, it's a long rabbit hole.
Yes, it is. I was saying to someone, they were asking, when I did my Blog Talk Food Alchemy show for years, I would always do a healing Reiki circle on the show. And I used to record it on something called Ustream. I was on Ustream and I was on Bamboozle. People don't probably know what that is, on Blog Talk at the same time. So my daughter said, Mom, you always been extra. Oh, how much? Eddie wants to know, how much can our intent be changed? That's what I'm saying. If we come together, everybody sent out Reiki, everybody sent out love, everybody. I mean, if a whole community, I don't know, if a whole community or a tribe can disappear by high vibration, what do you think if a whole nation came together would do? That is always been my goal. Like when I did Reiki or doing healing circles and sending out healings, like, let's get together and let's do this. Let's come together and let's do it. There is a thing that the meditation day that they have, the energy, the vibration of the earth actually shifted when they did that meditation day. People got together. There is a place that is actually in India that will accept anybody that will come in peace. They have no guns. They borrow. They barter with each other. They don't even depend on currency or money. They see a doctor. Everybody's equal. I forgot the name of the community. Could you imagine if more were like that? And my spirit said that it needs to be more bartering like we used to. We gave money power in the energy that it has. We gave rubies, diamonds the power, and they're really just nothing but something from the earth. Now, what gold, silver, brass, copper does for other things on another level is something totally different. But
on other planets, are you saying other planets and what it powers? Yes.
I'm trying to be diplomatic about this.
Well, I know. But you and I both know what's going on here. But,
are you talking about the Anunnaki? Oh my.
Yeah,
girl.
Some of it. Yeah. We could go down that rabbit hole, but I'm dog sitting and I've got to go take care of the dog.
Okay.
He's an older Great Dane, and he's got to go out, so I need to go take care of him.
Okie dokie, love. Thank you so much for spending time with us. And I'm going to put your information so people can get in contact with you and also come in. I want you guys to stop in Clubhouse and say hi ho, or Instagram, how you doing, and let her know that you have seen her on Food Alchemy Network. We will do another show. Thank you for staying into the Women's Circle on Saturday, the door of many colors. I thank you, and I thank our hosts. I really appreciate it. We will go now. Bye, ladies and gentlemen. Bye-bye.
Bye.